So here we go. My hotkeys are broken again, which is wonderful. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the hope for Mousesports in the form of Mousesports Hope. He is in the blue trunks. He is playing Zerg to the southwest versus his opponent, having taken out Mana, considered by men to be the ace, who had already taken out 3 Axiom players in the process, so I'd bloody well say he is the ace. Axiom Alicia in the red trunks playing Protoss to the northeast. Now, most people haven't had a chance to see Alicia all that much since the disbanding of Slayers. He kind of, I wouldn't say he went underground, but he wasn't really playing all that much. The only time people really got a chance to see him was in NASL, where he did pretty well in his group, but he did not get through to the finals. So, we have to see whether or not he is strong enough to handle Hope. Now, Hope is not a player I've had the chance to really see play all that much, so I can't really give you much insight. Alicia now with the pylon going forward here. Could be Gateway, could be Forge, could be Nexus before Forge. We'll see what happens. Currently, Hope has not built a pool, which is to be expected because he's only on 13 supply. He could build one right now, which might not be a terrible idea, or he could decide to hatch first. And if he hatches first, Alicia will probably Nexus first. Scout comes in, Alicia sees, no pool, no pool. This is the time when one will be built. No pool. Okay, so Alicia can now try and delay the expansion. There's the pool. Okay, so little late. Not by much, a little bit late. So Alicia's just going to nibble away as much as he can here, just try and be annoying. Now, this may mean that Alicia decides not to go for the Nexus, and considering the fact the probe's going down there right now, it's probably not going to happen. We will be seeing Forge come down first. If he'd seen Hatchery first, he could have gone Nexus before Forge, but in this case, you've kind of got to do that just in case a lot of link pressure comes in your general direction. You can't really risk it. It's just not worth it. I mean, Cloud Kingdom's not a big map either, and it's also a 2-player map, so it will be a little bit dicey. Alicia playing the delaying game, and he's doing a reasonable job of it so far. Just trying to hold off this hatchery, which he is, for the most part, able to do. He will have to move out. Oh, another deny right there. Very nice. He could maybe get one more deny, and then he's got to get out there with that probe. There we go. He moves away, and he says, right, you know what? You can build it now. That's fine. I'm going to let you do that. So it goes down, and it's been delayed nicely. I mean, this actually puts the Protoss player ahead. The Nexus is down before the hatchery, which is kind of a big deal. Overlord now moving in, pylons coming up, and the photon cannon at the back. There's no real chance of Hope doing any damage here. So Hope is, needless to say, not building too many Zerglings. Only a couple, just to gain a little bit of map control, make sure that no probe sneaks across the map, places a proxy, we see no nonsense. DT is always a possibility in this situation, because, hey, why not? It's kind of a passive part of the game. If you can get a probe down a weird place and you can get Dark Templar out, yeah, things can get messy. Although bear in mind that Spore Crawler is a little bit easier to build these days. You might say, well, how is he doing that? How can he build a Spore Crawler? Well, you know, he can now because spores do not require evolution chambers. So that's kind of handy. Third hatchery going down. So we now enter this kind of passive phase here. And the question is, where does Alicia go with it? Does he go Stargate from this position? Or does he go for the more traditional +1 Zealot aggression? Or does he throw something weird in the mix? And he's got a decent amount of gas. Cybercore isn't down yet. Super late Cybercore, of course, because he's been building the Nexus and the Forge and the Cannon and the Gateway. Takes a while. We will see after this Cybercore goes down exactly what will end up happening. Twilight Council might come down. We could see DT. We could see Stargate, or we could see a more traditional Gateway pressure. But until about at least the 8-minute mark, really nothing is going to happen in this game, because it can't. There's no way for either player to attack each other. There's no Roach Warren down, which means we're not going to see any weird bust, which out of 3 bases wouldn't make any sense at this time anyway. Where are you going to get the money from? That's just weird. Stargate. Alright. I like that. More traditional kind of Wings-esque, late Wings-esque play against Zerg. You'll see potentially Phoenix play here, but now you've got more options. The Void Ray is a little more powerful. Only in the sense of killing armored units, though. Just bear that in mind. It kills armored units faster, which is good against buildings, not good against queens. Queens are not armored, so they're not going to take that extra damage from the overcharge. 2 more gas coming down here. On hatchery. No, never mind. He actually had no gas in the first place, so he's building them on his natural, which is good, because, again, that gives the Protoss player a little bit of a weird read, saying, oh, you got 4 gas down really early? That's odd. What's happening? No. He's playing a very economic game right now. And he is building pretty much nothing but drones. He's got 3 queens on the map. He does have an Overlord in decent position, but it is currently out of range. And what we're going to see, Phoenix play. Alright, so Wings-esque, very much so. This Overlord will scout it, by the looks of it. Yeah, maybe not. Probably, because once that Phoenix pops out, it's likely going to happen. The thing is that he's got to hide those Phoenixes, and that's exactly what he's doing. He moves it back a little bit. Doesn't want to move in with minimal Phoenixes. Here's the thing, though. Hope is powering drones really hard, and he's currently unmolested. Now, if a few Phoenixes get out, that could, of course, change, but it's not like the Oracle effect, where suddenly an entire mineral line melts. It's damage. The problem is, this Overlord's going to see this. It's moving in, and Alicia hasn't... Oh, there we go. He's moved out. So he will see the Stargate, and there we go. That's now being revealed. So I would expect to see Spore Crawlers coming down. Here they are. Roach Warren coming up as well. Second Spore Crawler going down here, too. I mean, what I'd do if I was Alicia right now is clean up Overlords and really just not build any more units. I have a few Phoenixes down for damage, but I don't know, we'll see. If he gets enough Phoenixes, then he can just overwhelm the Spore Crawlers and the anti-air defense. This is going to hit around the time the Spore Crawler comes up, which is kind of wonky and weird. So he's not really going to be able to do too much there, especially with the Queen helping out. Question is, can he make anything else happen? The Natural's defended now as well. The Main's defended too. He needs more Phoenixes if he really wants to make this happen. He can pick off maybe outlying drones here and there, but bear in mind that Hope's built like rounds of drones. He's up to 61 already. So a couple of drones killed here and there is not something Hope's really going to worry about. He's just going to build more drones, and that is less expensive than building these Phoenixes up. So Alicia currently not in a great position, stuck on 2 bases, and doesn't really have any ground army to attack with. These Phoenixes have been spotted a little bit early. He's actually going to go for a 3rd base, try and protect it. I don't like this. Well, the reason I don't like it is that we're going to see Roach Hydra coming out here from Mouse Hope, and quite frankly, I don't think that Sentry Phoenix is going to hold that. I mean, why would it? Ling speed is on the way. More Lings coming out on the field as well. He can do more harass. He can spot Lings coming in. Of course, he could lift them, but it would be a waste. He'd really want to do more harassment. He's going to try and pick off a few more. And he's picking off drones on gas as well, which, you know, is obviously a deliberate decision. If he's not careful, he's going to end up losing that Phoenix. His micro has been pretty good so far, though, so nothing to really worry about at this stage. Taking some damage, only on the shields. Here comes the Ling run by right now. Sentries are in position. Alicia's got to be careful not to mess this up. Going to take out a pylon. He's ready for force fields when need be. He can get an additional warp and a zealot to deal with the rest of this. And he also has his mothership core out, so that's been fended off. Pylon taken out, no real big deal. Lots of Hydras, however. No Roaches being built. Hydra speed coming out. Is that Hydra speed for Hydra range? It is. That's I've not seen that before. That's an odd build. That's unexpected. Usually, of course, you get Hydra range first. But Hydra speed could be useful against these Phoenixes. He spots the Hydra, though, and he picks it up and kills it before he loses a Phoenix. So good control here by Alicia so far. Hope kind of getting picked at, but he's still ahead. Hope's also taking a 4th base, and since there's no ground aggression, he can do that without worrying too much. Good way to counter Phoenixes, of course, is just to build more hatcheries. Something to bear in mind. That speed's about to kick in. That could catch him unawares. Only 9 workers killed, but I don't know. I don't think this Phoenix harass is really doing enough yet for Alicia. He's got to get a good hold here, and with a lot of speed Hydralisks, that could be difficult. Roach is now being brought onto the field as well. Not a lot of meat on the ground here for Alicia, and no AoE to handle it either. Colossus is on the way, but this could hit pre-Colossus. 1 Phoenix goes down as well. Ooh, dicey position right there for Alicia. Sees the speed on the Hydralisks. Zealots now moving. I don't like this move out at all. These Zealots are going to get murdered if they move out. Yeah, they're probably dead. Unless a good force field comes down, which might happen. Well, let's see what he does. Oh, that gets surrounded. Force field does not go off. That was a bad move there by Alicia. And he loses significant numbers of units. That's a lot of Hydralisks. I don't think that Alicia can actually hold this. With a photon overcharge, maybe he can fend it away. Good force fields block them off there, but ooh, I think he was lucky to land those force fields, really. There's now a Roach force, and it's moving around. And with only 1 Colossus on the field with no extended thermal lance, I still don't see Alicia holding it. I don't. Another Photon Overcharge is not available either. There's going to be a significant amount of time before that happens. That's 100 energy. No Time Warp's going to be available here either. Phoenixes are not doing anything, and the Roach Hydra should be enough to crush this, I would think, unless these force fields are absolutely genius. The Colossus in a good position here, not taking too much damage at all. Mothership core goes down. Alicia needs to bring in more units, however. Photon Overcharge continues to be useful. Colossus is getting out of there. Good micro incomes. The Phoenix force. There's still a ton of Hydralisks on the field. Lots more damage being done. This defense is really, really good with a minimal number of units. If he holds this, it will be a miracle as far as I'm concerned. That Colossus is finally going to die by the looks of it. Another Colossus comes in from the flank, however. He may be able to save this 3rd base. Another warping coming in as well. Focus Fire comes in. Excellent micromanagement by Alicia. Somehow these Colossus are still alive. How are they still alive? He did this without extended thermal lance. Are you kidding me? He holds. Alicia holds. That should have been a dead 3rd base. And now extended thermal lance is up. Wow. I'm I'm flabbergasted. That was incredible. However, let's not ignore the fact that Hope is still on 4 bases. The Phoenixes are dead. Run-by coming in right now. Needs to move into position to engage this. Now he can take this. He's got Colossus with extended thermal. Trying to break his way through. Zella is blocking that off, but there's a run-by into the mineral line. He's got to deal with that before he takes too much more damage. Kills the army. Now moving in once again. Mutalist transition coming in from Hope. And this is something Alicia is completely unprepared for. This is the really worrying thing. Even Ling Run-by gets into the base, scouts, everything does damage. There's 18 mutas on the field. What's he got to kill it? 3 Stalkers. He's not prepared for this at all. At all. And he's been kept in his base. He defended. Now Hope's on 5 bases. Alicia is... that defense was great, but Alicia is about to get destroyed. I don't see a way of holding this. A Photon Overcharge would help. There's a Mothership core there, so that might be good. More Stalkers being warped in. There's nowhere near enough Stalkers to fight this off. He doesn't have any Phoenixes either. Needs to start building those immediately. Needs a Photon Overcharge as well. And it looks like Alicia's probably on a base trade here because he realizes he can't fight this. We'll see. Stalker's now moving in. And here comes the Ling Run-by. Excellent play here by Hope. Excellent play. Engagement comes in, and this army's just going to get absolutely wrecked. And I don't know, man. Blink Stalker's coming in. I don't think there's enough Stalkers. Oh, got to be careful with that. And there's the GG. And Hope takes out Alicia in fine style. And now it's 4 games to 2 here for Mousesports versus Axiom.